Man. So, one thing I wanted to talk about a little bit that we didn't talk about last episode with sound, because you can
Yeah.
go in so many different direction, is what happens on a physical level to the body when you hear different sounds. Like if somebody was coming in the room right now and hit the wall,
Yeah.
something would happen inside your body. You would be startled, but something would happen, like almost like a, what do you
Yeah, no, definitely. That's a good question. You know what I mean? Well, like, I mean, there's sounds out there that are pleasant, and then there's sounds out there that are unpleasant. And most good music that we like have lots of pleasant melodies. And when you're growing up, you have the toys, the spin, over the crib. I forget what it's called now, but
yes.
they make the sweet sounds. And
Yeah.
some sounds,
Lullabies.
some sounds are, in sounds that are, create certain emotions in you that are kind of, some sounds can create fear or create, a feeling of like sorrow, we've all heard music like that.
Yeah.
And then, some sounds just completely catch us off guard. They are sounds that, deep inside of us we know are danger sounds. You know what I mean? Something
Yeah.
that is, too loud or something that sounds very destructive.
Well,
You know what I mean?
there's something about
Screams.
sound that is just universal. Because obviously we all can't speak the same language, but sound is just universal. Because even like when you like you said, that danger, there is a particular danger sound that they almost use in almost every single movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Which
we
one is it?
know, like, I mean, it's like dome, dome. You heard it.
Oh,
Like it's
just
so
like
fast.
a deep tolling bell. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. But something getting ready to go down.
Like kind of like when the Undertaker comes out. You hear
Yes,
dum
yes.
dum.
Man, you right on the money tonight. Because
Yeah.
I was going to make the transition into the music, like you saying, and then I was going to talk about the wrestlers with the music.
Yeah.
Like
I beat you
right
to
on.
it. Go right ahead though, brother.
Well, because the music, it does something. Like music has a magical power. It's very magical. That sound of that music, the sound of music can literally take you back to a particular moment in time and make you feel exactly how you felt in that moment in time. Example, man's driving in his 67 Chevy, going to his prom with his wife in the 67. He hears a song as he's riding there. Now he becomes an old man, 40 years, 50 years later. He hears that song, and that song triggers something, that feeling, and just gives him that whole experience almost over again. That's the power of music, the sound of music, the power of it. Isn't that fascinating?
Music is, something that definitely transcends us. And, we talked about being on the infinite level before and, being in a place where we're not in our way. We're not thinking anymore. Or with music, you're on that infinite level. There are no thoughts. You're just taking the music in. So you're just being, you know, and the music, what it can do with the different melodies, the different, keys of through the scale, they'll each kind of elicit a different feeling from you. There are happy keys, there are dark keys, and at the end of the day, we're just a vibration as well.
Mm.
So when our vibration feels the vibration of the music, you know we get arranged in a certain way, or we start vibrating in a way similar to the music, or now there becomes a relationship between the music and the person. And to the point of, music can take you right back. I mean, yes, it can, because if that piece of music made you vibrate in a certain way once, your body's going to remember what that feels like. And there's a word for that that's kind of memory, that means memory, and it's called karma. Karma is just any type of memory of doing something, thinking something, feeling something, and that memory stays with you. We can create different things. But in this case, the karma would be from once feeling that song, and that karma remembers. So the next
Mm,
time you hear that song, not only does your body go back into that state, but your mind goes back into that state as well, because the mind remembers everything. It just needs
mm.
a trigger, and the music is that trigger, you know.
So this is interesting. So you're saying that music can trigger kind of like a cosmic memory bank?
that, that's kind of almost exactly what I'm saying. And there may be no better thing for that, you know, maybe some type of hypnosis, you know, meditation for sure, but it's just the fact that music shapes your body and your mind at
Yeah.
one time.
So quickly though, too. I mean, can you think about, like, we talk about the wrestlers, and when they're coming out, they come out to a song. Like, obviously these guys are athletes, but they're also actors, correct? So
Absolutely,
they
yeah.
come out to this song, and the song is kind of like the initiation, or the start line for them becoming that person that they're going to be acting out in the ring. And it's automatically something happens, like it's automatically like that is the trigger.
It
And you
gets you
see
into the
them,
state.
it gets you to that immediately. I mean, the song might be 10, 15 seconds, but as soon as they hear their music, their intro, it puts them right into full effect.
Yeah,
You
no,
know?
absolutely. You know, in sports, it's all about getting in the zone. In the music, it takes you to that place where, you know, you're on the infinite level. You're not thinking anymore. You're just doing. When you're doing, you're like Neo in the Matrix when he's just like, you know, blocking everyone, just thinking, jumping from building to building. You know what I mean? So that's when we reach our infinite potential, when we're just being, and music kind of helps you get into that state, you know. So
Definitely, definitely. So
hopefully when you, yeah, go ahead.
go ahead.
No, I was just going to say that hopefully when you listen to the music and you're on that infinite level, that once you're in the game, that you stay on that infinite level. You walk into the game, you know, just being, because of the music.
Definitely, definitely. So what I was going to ask you a question, but on the first I want to say something. So in my thought with that, because you're able to get immediately to the subconscious mind with the music, like something that might take a little bit longer time, that music's going immediately into your boom, right? Your cosmic
Absolutely.
maker to trigger. So even more so, you probably want to be careful to the music that you listen to, because that's going right in there. So it might,
Yeah.
if you listen to the wrong thing, you might have a false identity of yourself, you know?
Yeah, no, absolutely. You know, where the mind operates just like any type of hard drive, you know, or any type of computer. Whatever information you put into it, that's what you're going to get out of it. So, you know, it's just a part of, you know, really putting a filter on what you're putting into your device, your mind. And you know what I mean? And sometimes you've got to make the hard decisions, you know, change the type of TV you watch, change the type of music you listen to,
Yeah,
change.
yeah, definitely, definitely. But yeah, so I guess, and then for my question for you too is on that: are you, when you go deep into meditation, you know, because I've heard the thing, are you listening to music to first get you there, and then maybe cut it off, or are you just going complete silence? I mean,
Yeah, the goal would be pretty much complete silence, want to cut all stimulus off from the physical world, you know, just absolutely sitting still
mhm.
and just focused only on the mind, not
Yeah,
even on the mind, just, well, yes, focused on your mental activity. So when you're meditating, you're actually, you know, you're doing something, and just like it strains your body when you exercise in the gym, meditation can strain your spiritual dimension, your the mental side of things. because you're focusing so hard on what's going on in my mind's eye. You're cutting out all other distractions about, oh, I feel an itchy here or that, or you know what I mean, or I might be hungry, or it's too hot or too cold. So, um, yeah, I mean, it can be a little bit rigorous to start off with if you get into that, and complete silence is really what I am looking for at that point, to focus on my inner activity and just enter through there.
Definitely, definitely. Well, and even to build upon that complete silence, you shared a video with me, which I believe it was from their YouTube page, about how we are very similar to the iPhone have all these pages open. And speak a little bit to that. I know you touched on it once before, but speak a little bit to that, because that's noise, that's sound, right? Because my whole thing is, when you ever notice, so here's even with sound, you ever notice when two people try to talk to you, it's really annoying. Your mind can't generally focus on two people talking to you. If one person over here and they're having a complete different conversation over here, aren't you a little bit aggravated?
Yeah, definitely. The mind only likes to process, can only really process one intellectual speech at one time, you know?
Yes, yes. And maybe that was me, but you can't serve two masters either. You listen to two different voices. So with the iPhone thing that you share with me, it's like all those open pages are essentially different voices, right?
Yeah, there are different voices, different ideas going on at one time, you know? Throughout the day, we go through so many different situations. Some might be personal, work related, something with friends, you know what I mean? Maybe it's a health concern, who knows what it is. Maybe it's some task we had to complete, a grocery item we had to pick up. So many different things going on at one time, and we get caught in the middle of so many different tasks, that, you know, we lose processing power, because like, the brain at the end of the day is a processor that, allows our mind to function. And just like an iPhone or an Android phone, if you have too many different windows or too many different apps open, you lose processing power and that phone gets slower. So, what do you think is going on with your mental activity as well? Right? We're constantly processing, taking in data, but never given a chance to really sit there at high performance mode and resolve all this data that we're taking in. And that comes from really by stopping any more data from coming in. Meditating is the best way. Just closing your eyes, sitting and relaxing. It's not asleep. It is almost, it can be a waking daydream in a way, if you really want me to describe what it can be like, but it's different from a sleep. And yes, at that point, all those different voices you spoke of, that's when you can deal with them without any interference. Otherwise, there's constantly something going on in front of you, and you're not able to address your issues.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Bruh Man and Bra Man podcast. We're going deep today on sound. So even build upon that, do you think that somebody that has, because we're very busy in society, so everybody has something going on in their head, correct? Would you agree?
Well, multiple things going on, but
Multiple
yeah.
going thing, yeah. So do you think, I mean, with somebody having a lot going on in their head, would you classify them as being a disturbed person? Do you think that's the new normal? Or is disturbed normal? Or do you just think they just need to tune in? I mean, kind of go into that a little bit, because I think we are quick to label people. So I was interested to hear what you thought about
Well, if somebody's got a lot going on in their head, that I mean, that I think that is the normal, that everybody has a lot going on in their head. But I guess the difference between successful people and unsuccessful people is how organized is your thought process.
that.
So I think that is more important, and this organization can't be done in the gym. It can't be done at a restaurant or in the bar with your friends, that it comes when we take time alone for ourselves. And whether you're writing something down, whether you're just sitting and visualizing your dreams, whether you're talking it out, on your own or with somebody else, um, that is kind of the spiritual process right there. And there is no other way to do it. So it doesn't have to be meditating. You know what I mean? Some people read and write down their goals, but and visualize them, they repeat them as a affirmation. It's all still programming our inner dimension. So I say it's spiritual.
I would say reading is even a form of meditation. Would you agree?
It's definitely spiritual in a way, because words on a page are getting transmitted into our mind. It's changing from one medium to another. You know what I mean?
Mm.
So it is spiritual. We're gaining knowledge in a way that can't be gained in any other way. When you watch TV, all the work's done for you. Your eyes and are looking at the screen, you're intaking the audio it's giving you. When you're reading, you're having to use your full imagination to bring it to life yourself. You got to do all the work. So your mind's on a different level when you're reading something, rather than when you're watching TV, and you retain more of what you read. You become more of what you read. It transforms you.
Transform. Definitely, definitely. Yeah, that reading is just, I mean, you're just, if you're doing it, sometimes it takes a while if you step away from the reading to get back to the reading, because your mind
Yeah.
can't sit down at first. But then, so you might find yourself reading a couple pages, and then when you finally really get in your groove, you're just knocking out books and chapters, and you don't want to put it down.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like, that's why I draw the parallel with meditation, because when you first begin to meditate, it's a challenge. You're like, oh man, how long has it been? Oh, it's been 30 seconds.
Yeah. That's like when you first start working out, you got to do like burpees or something like that.
Yeah. You're like, oh man, I did about
Jumping
100.
squats.
No, you only did 3.
Yeah.
I never forget one time we was running up and down playing basketball, and one guy's like, I got like 10 points. I'm like, dude, you scored once.
Yeah.
But that 1 point felt good to him, so he probably felt like he was in the zone.
Oh, it gets multiplied on the street court.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
he's like, I got like
Yeah.
10. I'm like,
Yeah.
in what world? I've been guarding you all game.
Oh yeah.
When we talk about sound and music,
Yeah.
something, a thought triggered to me is like back in the day when we was chasing skirts, you would listen to one type of music when you would be hanging out with your homeboys. And then when you was going to go hang out with your lady, a whole different music would be leading up to hanging out with her to put
Oh
you in,
yeah.
and which even brings me, because I wanted to bridge the gap before I went to love, will kind of get you where you just kind of focus almost on one thing and have one train of thought, you know, and this sound and everything has to fall in line with it. What
So
do you think?
now,
Like I'm saying that your
speaking
beat
of,
of the day, your rhythm of the day falls in line with that. It's like, so if I'm just trying to bring it all together with life and sound, and how that sound and life is just one.
yeah, so music, it alters your state. And that's what we all want to do in life, is we want to keep, this high level of state, this infinite level, one where we're, vibrating at the most intense level possible. And, there's only so much coffee you can drink. You know what I mean? There's different ways to do it. You can go for a workout, drop down and do 25 push-ups, get yourself a pump. But music is a way that you can really, in a matter of seconds, get yourself into a different state of mind, get yourself into the zone for something. You can use it to calm yourself down. If you get elevated, you know what I mean? If you feel, sorrow about something, you can play, a sad song, and, none of your friends want to hear you out, that's okay. You've got some music to listen to, but um, yeah, so definitely, if you can use music to change your state, I think you can use it to your advantage and, prime yourself for whatever situation it is, whether you're going in for a test and you need to relax yourself, or whether you're going in to do a workout, it's an effective way to change your spiritual state.
You keep on bringing up the workout, and that's a very good example of what music can do to you, because for people that work out, there's a different workout that you have without music, and there's a completely different workout that you'll have with music.
Yes. Yeah.
Like without music, you can still get a good workout. You got to focus in, but inside that music, it's almost like you become one with the beat. I was working out the other day, and I went for a run on the elliptical, and then I started doing biceps. And I can't really tell you how many of any reps I did. I was just going to the beat, you know.
Yeah.
I put on some music, 70s, 80s music, because it's on a higher frequency than some of the stuff today. And I was just zoning out. Boom, 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 boom. Now you got my bicep secret. But but that music just took me to a different place where I was almost in I was in a different dimension. I wasn't even at the gym. I was in a different dimension, and it was just like
Yeah.
I was flowing. I was
You were
going.
just being.
I was just boom,
You were
boom,
just
boom.
being. And you probably did more reps that way
Oh,
than
tons.
if you did it, because you're not thinking about it. You can't feel the pain. Your mind is now intaking information, and these vibrations are creating this pleasantness inside of your body. You're now moving to the beat. Your body actually becomes more efficient when it's moving to the beat and pulsating like that with the music. You become one with the music. And when you're zoning out and pumping out those reps, that is that infinite level that you're on, this where you're not in your way anymore. So, music, definitely we can use it to our advantage, you know what I mean, in all different areas of life. I'm pretty sure that there's been studies that have shown that in a hospital setting, pleasant music has helped patients recover.
Yeah.
It helps plants grow. And there's some type of tones that are actually harmful to us, you know what I mean, that can cause us to lose functions of our body. So at the end of the day, I guess what we really want to say, the bigger picture here, is that vibration, what it does is it controls matter. It animates matter. That all matter is controlled by vibration, whether it is the atom that's pulsating, whether it is a pleasant song that is making aligning its vibration with our vibration and giving us more energy, or whether it is a frightening sound, one that is triggering a reflex action in us. One we might go like this or something like that. You know what I mean? So we came from sound. It's that divine principle, like is the creator of vibration. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Is our existence a vibration? At the end of the day, are we just vibrating matter? You know what I mean? And
Well,
what's your thoughts?
you see these musicians, these artists, these stars. They'll go all across the globe with a hit song. You see, in places you have somebody that might be a United States American star, and he'll be performing in Europe, Africa, Asia. So that music, even if the people don't even understand the words of the song. It's fascinating. They will. I mean, they talked about one time that I forget what country it was, but Lionel Richie, his music all of a sudden that came out 10, 20 years ago became a hit in this country because they were on that frequency, and he was just super big over there 20 years later. Now, can you imagine that? I mean, and then, I mean, obviously some people speak multiple languages, but for those that don't, for that music to be able to transcend where you are, I mean, that's magical, man. That's powerful. Michael Jackson, you know, all across the globe. Icon, people crying. Some people probably couldn't even understand what he was saying, right?
All they knew is this man is an entertainer.
He's an
and I'm
entertainer.
thrilled by when he's on the stage.
Well, I'm thrilled when he's on stage. And I feel something when he performs. That music, right? That art.
He makes my energy move in a certain way that's thrilling to me.
Yeah.
And not just that, it's how he makes other people react and other people feel and their energy as well. They just want to be a part of it.
Yeah. He used to make the motherfuckers cry. They'd be, oh.
Well, when a guy like that, when you're on the stage, what ends up happening essentially is we absorb the audience's energy. So when a guy like Michael's on the stage and he has, I don't know how many people would be there, 30,000 people, it's like he's now filled with the power of 30,000 fans.
Mm.
And he's out there doing extraordinary things, extraordinary confidence. I mean, spiritual energy is running high at that point. You know what I mean? Yeah. When that many people are giving you their positive energy.
Mm.
Imagine if 30,000 people were there giving you their negative energy.
Oh, man.
How you would feel just
I wouldn't give it
falling out. Well, you wouldn't, but it wouldn't.
I'm negativity's worst enemy.
I'm sure you are. I'm sure you are. I'm just saying that other people can give you certain types of energy. They can give you happiness. They can fill you with excitement.
I feel you.
They can fill you with anger. They can make you sad if they go to a funeral and you don't even know who it is. And you're going to feel a little bit sad too, just by looking at everybody else.
Definitely. You ever seen like a kid, he comes home from school. He sees the bully down the street and he takes the turn on the side street to avoid the bully. You ever see something like that? You know what I'm talking, you get what I'm saying?
I've seen that. I've never done it myself.
That's me and negativity.
You just completely avoid it. Yeah.
No. Negativity is avoiding me. That's what I tell my clients. I said,
the other way around.
Okay. I'm your negativity and I'm your mediocre ass's worst enemy.
There you go. That should be your slogan.
That is my slogan. I'm going to destroy it. You got to destroy it. Because like you say, if one energy has to give to the other, there's no hot. Yeah. This is what I say is you either hot or cold. There's no lukewarm.
That's why you need a personal trainer to whip your ass and give you that energy.
Coach, spiritual coach. You need somebody at every aspect of life that is where you want to be. Right?
Absolutely.
That's why that's why that old man is so important. That old man that has been at the temple so long, waiting for you to come so he could give his knowledge, so he can ascend. That's why that even the guy at the liquor store is so important. Is it what I'm saying? Everybody has something to give you. You gotta get it. They're all coaches. Somebody might be coaching you what not to do. But it's important to have a mentor, a coach, a spiritual coach, a physical coach, a mental coach. Maybe you find them all in the same place. I don't know.
Oh, you'll find great success if you can find the right type of coaches. You know what I mean? And you don't need and you don't have to stick to one. Don't become identified with just one thing, because then you cut off all your other limitations. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, whether it's, you know, a religion, or be identified with a certain race, or be identified with a certain age, or identified with a certain political view, you know, shatter all identities, you know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah.
And then you can really have full growth.
Yeah. Shadow. Oh man, I love that, man. Man, you on point, man. He says, yeah, no, shatter them all. Shatter, because they put you in boxes. You know, when you
Yeah.
can't learn and grow from people that have something to teach you. One thing I learned in academia, one the most important thing I learned in speech class, you know, because I was already a better speaker than what they taught me at the time, and obviously you still need help, but that wasn't really teaching. But anyways, but when they opened the book, they said disassociate the message from the speaker, because sometimes people will see how a person looks and they will not receive the information. I said that is powerful, because you might be looking at a person and say, "You look like a nerd. You look like you know you ain't got yourself together," but you're not really even listening to the message that they're giving. You know, a person could go super deep in their message, but you say, "I don't want to receive it." Your mind begins to reject it because how it's been
Hmm.
trained. You're you're not coming in the traditional sense, so I can't receive that.
The ego. The
The
ego is
ego,
blocking information.
the ego, the
The
ego
identity.
in the box that this world has confined us in, to say that things are supposed to look a certain way and sound a certain way, opposed to seeking the truth, whatever way it looks and whatever way it sounds. It might sound like Mighty Mouse. It
Yeah.
might sound like Tony the Tiger. It might sound like Brahman. It might sound
It
like
may.
Broman.
Yeah, yeah, a little bit lower. The smoother, this bro, man. The
It
smooth.
might. That was me listening to that love tape on the way to that skirt.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it must have been. Exactly what it must have been.
And Broman was born.
Yeah, yeah.
Man, but yeah, music is just so that sound that powerful. And even when you're trying to get yourself like I was around a guy and he was getting ready to go and perform a music on stage, and he tells his guys around, he said, "Hey man, hype me up, hype me up." So just that, but that music is like that hype man. It's getting it up. Even when you go to certain events, they'll have that music playing before that main person comes out.
Got to warm you up.
You gotta warm you up. Gotta get
It's
that
like when there's
mind.
a big pay-per-view, they have an undercard.
Yeah,
Can't just bring out the big dogs.
yeah. Gotta get the mind ready.
Got to
You
get
think of
everyone ready for it. You know what I mean?
gotta open up the mind. The music does something where it's like an opening of the way. Because you think about even religious ceremonies, they generally sing before the message is brought forth, correct?
There is, yeah. Well, even in the Hindu and Sikh religions, you know, that is kind of what generally happens. There's
Yeah,
always like a choir of some type, or a
yeah.
band.
That opening of the mind, that music is powerful. It opens up the mind so it can receive the message. Because you think about opening up the mind, now that message can go right and be digested. You
You
see,
have to be receptive.
you got to be ready. So the music opens it up like nothing else can. Because if you were just to come out and get the message, you probably block it off unless you were at a higher level that was already receptive. But that music is going to help open you all the way up and get right down to that seed, the seed of man, the heart of man, the soul.
Yes, yes, and that's what makes music so spiritual. Is it can open you right up. You know what I mean? It can
Mm.
play with your energies. It can shape your spiritual dimension faster than anything else. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? You want to change your state really fast. You have a bout of anger, or you need to relax, or you need to get really pumped up. Go with music. Go with the 60
Mm.
seconds of just the right piece of music, and it'll set your vibrations in a way to prime you. It's a life hack in a way.
Yeah.
You got to know how to use music. If you're
Yeah.
not using music in life, well, I feel sorry for you.
Yeah. Yeah. You're definitely right. It's a life hack. Yeah, it's a life hack.
You got to know it's you don't listen to music, you use music.
Use it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yes. You use it. You become a Jedi master. You got to know how to use that music.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
know, you know how to use that
Absolutely.
music to your like your lightsaber. Pew, pew.
Absolutely. And get into the rhythm of life. You know what I mean? Everything has a rhythm to it.
Mm.
And we want to be in that rhythm. And people say, "Oh, your work should be like play." Your work should not be hard. If it is hard, then either you're probably not so good at it, or maybe you're really good at it and it's super hard work, right? Maybe it's physical labor. Who knows? The can't make that easy.
Brahman's saying you probably should just look at doing something else. Maybe you're not so good at it. No,
Yeah,
you're definitely right, man.
yeah.
Because
Go for an office job.
go for something else. You're definitely right, because even now in these interesting times, it's like that's what I've been telling people. I'm like, y'all complaining, but last week before this thing started, y'all was talking about you didn't like what you did. Now you got an opportunity where you can actually grow and get off into another field, you know. So if you don't like what you do, and the reason why people don't like what they do is because you're not doing purposeful work. If you can find purpose in your work, then it's going to feel effortless, you know. So if you can find your purpose in your work, then it's not even work. Where your heart is, your treasure will be also.
That
Where
is
your
that connecting to the infinite dimension.
Yeah, and you got
Then,
and if you
then you're running through the infinite.
yeah you run to instead of running through the box and
Yeah.
being confined to what everybody else believes traditionally and telling you just to get a good job that pays well. I know many of people with good jobs that pays well, and they be talking about how they're stressed out, their age, they got health problems, they got relationship problems because you ain't working in your purpose. You know, you walking,
No, absolutely.
you move into somebody else's beat.
Yes. There's only so long you can do that for, until you miss a beat, and
Yeah,
then it just sounds like crap.
yeah, yeah,
you know, yeah, no, no, absolutely. You know what I mean? When you're purpose driven, people see that purpose. You know what I mean? And we're moving into this new world right now where, yeah, people are forced to kind of change their life, change their occupation. Some jobs, they are gone forever, and then for the jobs that are gone, many are created in other fields as well. So it's a time where, if you embrace change, it may pay dividends for you. For if you're stuck somewhere that, like you said, you had the friend who was stuck on the job that they didn't enjoy, this is the blessing in disguise now
yeah,
to kind of work at a job which is probably in a field that is pretty stable right now, or else why would they be hiring?
yeah.
So
And
embrace that.
embrace it, and even to add on to that, in this time, embrace each other. You know, uh, there was a good song, "We All Need Somebody to Lean On" by Bill Withers.
Yeah.
You know, which is, and then he had "Just the Two of Us." Which is with great hits, and R.I.P. him, a legendary, and he has passed. I think he passed about a week ago. Talking about music and bringing it full circle, but we need each other. We've been moving to a beat alone, and then wondering why you can't figure life out. You know, oh, nothing works for me. Well, you're trying to do everything by yourself, and your neighbor's trying to do everything by yourself. But if y'all put your heads together, so this is the time to collaborate and put the pieces of the puzzle together. You know, and do it 2 by 2, 4 by 4, and build and build and build and build.
Absolutely. you know Collaborating, you can achieve your goal faster if you surround yourself with people that have the same energy. You just have to watch that your energies mesh. If you have two different energies, those energies aren't compatible.
Yeah.
So that's the whole goal, is find people that are vibrating at a similar frequency than you.
when
and
you
get to work, you know?
and get to work, and when you get in that driver's seat and close out them windows out like Brahman told you to do, close all them windows out and get focused and get in the driver's seat and start moving to a rhythm that you want to move to, you're going to find other purpose driven people that align with you. So don't force it, but now is the time to work on yourself and be ready to receive the blessings that the universe wants to bestow upon you by tuning in and getting on the right frequency.
Absolutely. Now is the time. You know, we're in a new world,
Yeah.
and you have to adapt. Everything's changing right now, not just the economy. We're all changing as people. You know,
Yeah.
we used to go out to our jobs. Now we're staying at home. We can't go out and enjoy ourselves as we did before. So it's a new world. So you got to prepare, you know what I mean? And collaborate, just like we're collaborating right now. So find those people that can help you get on the same level as them, vibrate on the same frequency, and make something golden, you know? Go out, build your empire.
Definitely, definitely. Give us give me give the fans, to give the people that want to get on a higher frequency, give them something to do this week. Give them a little homework. Gi-
I'll give you some homework right now. So, Brahman, you do this with me. I know you got a microphone in your hand, but take your palms and you put them straight up like this. And now do me a favor, breathe in and out 10 times and just feel your lungs. Tell me what you feel. Just monitor the way your lungs feel. That's good. Now turn them upside down. And now breathe 5 times again and monitor the way that your lungs feel. Can you tell the difference between what's going on with the hands down and hands up?
I feel like when my hands were down, my lungs felt more fuller to me.
Mm-hmm.
I,
So when your palms are up, the air is actually going into the bottom two chambers of your lungs. When your hands are up, when your hands are down, it's going into the top two chambers of your lungs,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
So that's why you're telling me that you feel more full. And so that's why when we meditate, we either want to keep our hands up or we want to keep our hands down. Because all throughout the day, we're going around moving our hands this way, this way, this way. We're disrupting our breathing pattern. And it's one of the reasons why we feel so, agitated or throughout the day. When you meditate, simply by keeping your hands in one position for 20 minutes, either upright or palms down, getting your breathing set straight for 20 straight minutes puts your body into a different mode where it actually begins to run more efficiently. It changes your breathing pattern, your blood pressure comes down, the activity in the brain gets stronger, and your body is able to go into this maintenance mode just by keeping our breathing set. Palms up or palms down. Palms up in the yogic tradition is used to gain energy. Palms down is used to give energy. So whatever you want to do, if you want to gain energy, go palms up. If you want to lose energy, go palms down. And just try that this weekend for whatever you need. 20 minutes straight. Let your body go into the mode it almost never goes in because you're moving your hands too much around all day. So we're changing our breathing pattern and it's disturbing us. So that's the assignment for the weekend. 20 minutes of mindfulness. Palms up, palms down. And hey, when you come back next week, leave a comment on the video. Let us know how you felt about last week's practice.
awesome, awesome. We want to thank you once again for tuning in to Brahmin and Brahmin podcast. And we got some more fresh, hot content coming your way. So please feel free to send us a message if you want us to talk about something. And we're even accepting guests. We want to hear what you have to say.
Get at us.